And I think that confidence myth is all about I have to feel secure. I have to feel qualified. I got to be fearless. I got to be ready.
I gotta be perfect.
Got to be perfect. Can't make a mistake. It's a powerful thing to have that, and it's a powerful thing to be that for somebody. Why are you saying that? And we interpret that to our own insecurity and our own lack of confidence and go, oh, see, there's evidence. I shouldn't do this. Welcome back to Unapologetic Rabble-Rousers. I'm DocShellie.
And I'm Carla Lewis. So let's keep it going. Let's start looking at something about this confidence that seems to be an underpinning for at least the last few episodes. But the confidence myth. You don't have to feel ready to actually show up. And now you talk about taking a leap of faith. It's looking at that notion that I'm not feeling like I can, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's talk about this confidence myth.
Yeah, the confidence myth. It's so interesting when I think about how many times throughout life, me, my friends have thought, I can't do it, just I'm not ready. And like that I'm not ready piece is that confidence piece of I'm not sure, I might look foolish, I don't want to be embarrassed, I might fail, this might not work, all the things. I was just coaching someone the other day on this whole topic, and the theme for this particular client was I don't want to be embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen if you're embarrassed? Like you're embarrassed because you might not succeed at something. I'm like, I'd be embarrassed if my pants split open in front of 200 people, but guess what? That's already happened to me. So like, it's very interesting to me, the mental gymnastics that we play around confidence.
Just even that notion about being embarrassed. I mean, what is fueling that? We have this image, we have this expectation of self that we're going to put forward. And some of this is going to get into that whole perfection thing. I bet we touch on that a couple times in this conversation, right? But what does embarrassed even mean?
Right.
You failed somebody else's standard or you failed your own? You put yourself out there and you risk judgment from somebody else or your own. What's even behind that?
Right. It's the whole embarrassment thing is interesting to me. And I like there's certain things where I'm like, and sometimes I'm embarrassed by other people's behavior.
Oh,
I'm like,
gosh.
but that shouldn't be something I'm embarrassed about. I have no control over that. So, like, I used to date this guy that was always the center of attention and always ran the room, if you will. And I was just always, oh my God, like, do we have to do this again? Like, it's embarrassing. And then I'm like, why was I embarrassed by that? That was his personality. It was one of the things that I actually found attractive about him was like he was a super gregarious, life of the party kind of guy. But then also I was no real reflection on me. So it's the whole embarrassing thing is interesting to me because there has been plenty of times in my life where I have been red-faced embarrassed, like when my pants split open on the stage in front of 200 people. Also, I just laughed about it because what else am I going to do?
Really? Isn't self-deprecation one of the things that endears people to others?
I have been singing in a band where I completely forgot the words to the song and just started making stuff up. And I could see people on the dance floor going,
really?
Just talking about breakfast and we're singing a song about love.
Haven't heard this version.
Just ridiculous things. So I'm like, I've survived all my embarrassing moments. Why is embarrassment sometimes a thing? So I think it's interesting in how, to your point, is it I'm embarrassed for myself? I'm embarrassed for other people? Is it judgment? Is it criticism? Is it like what's going on behind that? I think it's fascinating.
I think it's that it influences some of the choices we make about whether or not we're going to put ourselves out there. Even before something happens, there's the what if it does.
And I think that confidence myth is all about I have to feel secure. I have to feel qualified. I got to be fearless. I got to be ready.
I gotta be perfect.
Got to be perfect. Can't make a mistake. And that mindset keeps us stuck in
Mm,
what I'll call preparation mode.
okay.
I'm going to prepare to do this, but I'm going to prepare to do this for 25 years before I actually do it.
One of my speaking mentors talks about, okay, I'm getting ready to be ready to be ready to get ready to be ready to get ready to be ready. And how often do you really find yourself actually getting caught up in that whole cycle that says, just do it. You know,
Yeah.
you want somebody to just give you that velvet boot in the butt and shove you out there and say, it's going to be okay.
Velvet boot in the butt. Crack me up. I've been doing that with this digital course that I've been working on.
Okay.
I've got this brilliant workbook. I shared it with a friend of mine. She was like, "Oh my God, this is so fantastic. You've got to get this out there." And
Yeah.
ever since then, I've been sitting on it. I'm like, do I record videos? Should I do it as an email? I'm not really ready. I don't know. And like all this BS going through my head. And I'm like, what is going on here? Just do it. Just get it done.
And the question can come down to something as simple
What
as
if people
why
don't
is it
like it? What if people don't like it?
there's that's the judgment, but what's the worst thing that can happen
Exactly.
if I get it out there imperfectly? Imperfect action trumps perfect stagnation every hour of the day.
Mhm.
And so being able to take even that example, Michelle, is huge. I can relate to it in terms of the work that I'm doing.
Mhm.
Getting out there, speaking, being able to get out there and
Yeah.
engage with organizations to do what I know I can do and
Yeah.
I know is of value. So the fact that we both can sit there in our current pursuits and say, yeah, we get this. We
Yeah.
get this. And we
Yeah.
can talk about it from inside out.
Exactly. There's thousands, millions of people in the world who are out there doing big, bold, brave things every single day. And guess what? Every single one of them feels nervous, messy, uncertain. They're not waiting for confidence. They're doing it anyway.
And the thing is that it's probably in their core, they understand, as you and I both do, that it's in the doing that the confidence grows.
Yes. Confidence comes from action, not inaction, not
Ab-
preparing, not thinking about it.
You can't learn from things you don't do.
Exactly. I think you have to have courage. You have to have courage
Absolutely.
before you have confidence.
So I think it tracks back to this notion of being embarrassed.
Hmm.
So let's talk about this some more. So if we need an example about just going out there and doing it with courage and with confidence that it's probably imperfect and it's going to be okay, because being embarrassed, you know what, that only lasts for a moment.
Exactly.
Unless you want to hold on to it and use it as a reason to not
Right.
try again. Just saying.
Just saying. I think a lot of people wait so long that they miss their opportunity.
Oh
And
gosh, yeah.
that's not cool. We and if it's the lack of confidence holding people back from taking action so much so that they're missing out on opportunities, how do we adjust that? Like how do we compensate? What do we do?
And I think recognizing that once again, as we talked about in the last episode, that our body gives us signals. Our body gives us signals, especially when
Hmm.
it comes to discomfort.
Hmm.
And how can we turn some of those things into triggers that say, you know what, this feels like something that I'm not really comfortable doing, so it must be something I should try.
Yeah.
I should go ahead and just try, because we've talked about it before. What's the worst thing that could happen? You're not going to die.
Not gonna
You're not going to
die.
get pregnant.
Exactly.
But okay, so we're talking about challenging this belief that confidence has to be in place before you actually take a step forward. before you take action, before you step out in a place that feels like you need to, but maybe you've never taken that step before. So it's like you're on this edge
Mm-hmm.
and you're either going to fall off and learn how to fly on the way down, or you're going to step onto solid ground and it's going to be okay and you're going to keep on going. Either one of those things is progress and is goodness.
I think one of the other things, as you were talking about that, taking that leap, is I had a coach say to me, and I think you've said this too, this notion of borrow my belief in you until you believe it yourself.
Yes.
And so taking that big step, maybe you need to ride somebody else's wings as they carry you through and they believe in you.
That is so important. And for everyone to be able to look around and say, who in my life, who is in my life that I would want to have by my side, even just virtually? I'm going to do this thing. I have been that for you. You have been that for me. Others have been that for each other. And who is it? It's like the person that is in the wings and they're encouraging you just with their body language. They're
Mhm.
nodding, they're mouthing, you can do
You
this.
got this. Yeah.
You got this. Being able to recognize that when you need to borrow that,
Hmm.
you want to have some people around you on whom you can lean.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a powerful thing to have that, and it's a powerful thing to be that for somebody
Mm,
versus the person that's, yeah, you can't.
yeah.
If you really think I can't, I would want to know that. But also, there's just so many people that are afraid of doing the things that we do that they can never see themselves doing it. So their language comes out of, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that.
Yeah.
We often interpret that to, "Eek, what do you mean?" And they're just saying, I'm so proud of you. You're so brave. You're going to do that thing. And it terrifies me. I would never do it. But we don't lean
Yeah.
into that conversation enough to go, why are you saying that? And we interpret that to our own insecurity and our own lack of confidence and go, oh, see, there's evidence. I shouldn't do this.
Absolutely. We want to amplify that thing that's going to keep us from going out and being exposed, risking embarrassment, just being out there and being naked and afraid,
No.
not to reference a TV program or anything, which I've never seen, by the way. But the notion is being able to reframe what's going on when we're feeling that anxiety
Mm-hmm.
that might have embarrassment and I'm not ready and all of this kind of stuff wrapped up into it. It's about being able to reframe it to say, if this is something I'm even thinking about being important that I do it, then I need to get to a place to say, I am ready enough to start.
Mm-hmm. I think another trick that we can do for our brain along those lines is sometimes we focus on, oh, I'm so nervous. I can't do the thing. The way our body reacts to nervous and excitement is exactly the same way. Our brains don't know the difference in how our body is reacting. Am I
So that
excited?
excitement
And I'm
that we're,
nervous.
yeah, that
So
excitement is,
reframe. Yeah. Reframe that nervousness to say, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I'm excited about what could happen. I'm excited about the possibilities rather than focusing on, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I can't do it. Body
it's
doesn't
interesting.
know, brain doesn't know the difference. So just tell it, we're excited about this.
And that's really being able to take a stand around why I want to even be thinking about this, why I want to even be risking it.
Hmm.
So being able to, as you're talking about that brain training that says, okay, right? It feels the same. It feels the same. We're going to interpret it. We're going to use it as fuel for
Yes.
positive, not as anchor and weight that's going to keep me back.
Yeah, exactly. And you can do that with anything with your brain. Every thought is an instruction to your brain. So when you have that nervous feeling, palms are sweaty, heart's racing, maybe you get a little temporal sweat going on. You got the butterflies in your stomach. That happens when you're nervous and when you're excited. Just tell your brain, this is excitement. And you can do that with just about anything. It's how
Anything.
we interpret that sends a signal to our brain. And if we interpret it as bad or negative, our brain freaks out about it. If we interpret it as good, positive, our brain will be like, okay, we got this.
So it kind of gets back to some of what we've talked about before, and you've amplified the messages around our brain is wired to keep us safe.
Yep.
And so being able to take in these signals from inside and from outside and say, you know what? Here's an interpretation I'm asking you to leverage now, brain. And I know it's the brain that you're using, but the fact is, I am taking this step. Every step I take forward, that's me believing in the fact I can and will be able to do whatever it is. And
Absolutely.
the brain says, okay, this is what survival looks like. Survival is we're taking this step forward and the next one and the next one,
Yeah,
as opposed to responding what might be more comfortably and naturally to the, oh, it's scary. Maybe I shouldn't do it.
exactly. Exactly. So, what are some things that you've done to get yourself to take action when you weren't feeling like, I'm going to nail this?
So, some of the things I've done, number one, I've leveraged dear people like you in my life to say, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And using that confidence and encouragement that comes from people who love me and want not just what's good for me, but for my message, for what it is I want to do that's good for the world to get out there. So it's about being able to borrow that confidence. It's
Mhm.
about being able to lean on that and say, okay, all right, if nothing else, I know I am not alone in what I'm about to do. And even if I fall flat on my freaking face in whatever it is, and for me, it's about getting out there, standing on stages, engaging with senior leadership. We talked about it episodes ago about when I was a part of the corporate machine that I had mom's skirts to hide behind. If
Right.
nothing else, I also had mom that was there with my hand in hers saying, you're going to work with her. You're going to, without that, being able to go out and say, you know what? Those were all good educational and strengthening experiences, but I've got this. I know I've got this. I wouldn't have a burn on to be getting my voice out into the public. I wouldn't have this burn on to go out and stand on stages and speak to international audiences talking about the work that I do. And because it's not about talking about my work. It's about talking about their possibilities. It's about being able to paint those pictures of opportunity that leaders around the world can have. And that's a powerful message. And it's a message that's really needed. And then there's just little old me being the one to come out there and try to light that torch. Well, the torch needs to be lit. And if I'm the one to lit it, then God damn it, I need to get out there and do that. Forgive me. So if that torch needs to be lit and I'm the one to do it, then I need to just get the freak out there and do it.
Do it.
And I just need to do it. So leaning on those around me that not just love me and care about me, but believe in me and the message. That is number one. Leaning on somebody else's confidence in me when I'm kind of shaky, leaning on that and knowing that is such an incredible source of strength and encouragement, and it just makes things possible.
Hmm.
And how about you?
Much of the same thing, but I think for me, the big thing is to remind myself I do hard things all the time, and this really isn't that hard. So I can do this. That's the self-talk that I have around it is every day I go to the grocery store, I don't punch people in the face. That can be hard sometimes. I hate grocery shopping. I don't like rude people. I don't like when people hit me with their carts because that happens every damn time I go to the grocery store. I have some self-control. I don't react. I don't punch people in the face because I'd like to throat punch some of those people.
I'll bet you do need to go back to one of our earlier episodes where Michelle broke up a fight at a
Oh,
grocery store.
yeah. Yes, I
But
did.
okay.
See, I just don't
Okay.
like going grocery shopping because
Yeah.
things ensue at the grocery store. Most of my trauma in life has happened at the grocery store.
So funny.
I almost got hit in the parking lot by a kid in some hot rod car, and he knocked over my cart. That's how close he got to hitting me. And an apple fell out, and I chucked it at the back of his car. And the guy was like, "Damn, you got a good arm." I'm like, "When I'm pissed, I do." I don't like
Yeah.
the grocery store. Anyway,
I'm
but
picking it up.
every time I go, I there's things I would like to do that I don't do, so I know I can do hard things.
Yes,
So I
it's
just
true.
remind myself. And I think I also take a moment to go, I've seen other people do things that were messy, that weren't perfect, and they're fine. They survived. It's all
Mhm.
good. I'm gonna judge myself more harshly than anyone else is. So
That I think that's a really important point because as we get out there, we are looking at ourselves much more closely than anybody else
oh
is.
yeah,
They're focused on their crap.
exactly.
Okay. So you get out there, do not be fussing about how closely people are investigating and looking at
Right,
you and what you're doing and saying.
right.
Okay.
And I think
I had to
the
jump
other
in.
thought that over the years that I've had to kind of battle is the whole who am I? I'm not saying anything that's different than what all
Mm,
the other people in leadership develop, all the big names are saying. But what I bring is a different set of life experiences, educational experiences, a different
mhm.
level of compassion and understanding. And I bring my own me to the situation, which no one else can do. So it's, I'm not going to be, I think we said this in a couple episodes before. I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me. And it's okay.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
do have people that like what I have to say. I do have people that lean in and listen. And I have had plenty of people tell me every time they have a conversation with me about X, Y, or Z, they leave better. That's powerful
Yes.
stuff to tell me I do know what I'm talking about and my voice is worth hearing. So sometimes I have to remind myself of that, despite having two
Yeah.
podcasts and written a book and two books and like all the stuff that we both have done. I still have to remind
Mhm.
myself my voice is worth hearing.
Yes. And yours is absolutely Boundaries That Empower. It's on Amazon. Get your copy today. Buy it for gifts. I told you that there is such power in that gift you gave the world.
Thank
So I'm just never going to stop touting that. So at the end of the day, it's about taking confidence and separating it from what comes of you stepping out there. It's
Yeah.
your goal is to get your message heard. Your goal is because, and it's not because I just want to make sure everybody hears my message. It's because you have something important. I have something important to contribute. And not everybody is our who. Not
Exactly.
everybody gives a crap about the
Exactly.
message. But for those who need it, for those who are looking for it, if you keep your message quiet, if you keep it hidden, who are you? I've said this to you. You've said this to me. Who are you to keep your voice and your message quiet from those who need it?
Hmm.
Who are you to keep that hidden? You need to step out in confidence. If you've got something to say, and it's something that is life-giving, it is something that is encouragement, that's something that is going to be helpful, because there's a plenty of people right now speaking out with messages that are not necessarily encouraging and life-giving and giving one steps to take to achieve a greater level of whatever you want to achieve. But for those who of us including both of us in this, who have important messages to deliver. And those of you who are listening that have them and have not unleashed them on the world, who are you to keep that light from the world? How dare you keep that light from the world? If the world needs your message, if you have a message to deliver, it means that the world has a need for it. And it's not everybody, but for those who do, they want you. And they don't know where to find you. So get out there. I
Get
think
out
that was
there.
a little bit. Get out there. So stop worrying about being ready. If it's in you, it's a song that needs to be sung. Start singing.
Yeah.
Even if it's off key.
Even if it's off key, you don't have to feel confident to take up space. You just have to be willing. You got to show up and you got to try. I think it's really important to remember confidence doesn't come first. It comes from doing the thing, surviving the thing, taking action, and realizing I didn't die. I can do this. So, to Carla's point, stop waiting, start showing
And
up, and get out there and do the thing.
yes,
Amen.
amen. I'm
So,
Carla Lewis.
with that, I'm DocShellie. We'll see you next time.
For those who need it, for those who are looking for it, who are you to keep your voice and your message quiet from those who need it?